You're not taking photographs of me on my bike.
Well,
I have got all my clothes on.
Yeah.
I can't cope with that.
Good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. Now, I'm really lucky to be filming Richard Chave, so he's agreeable to let me film him fishing a live match, so you'll see exactly what he does. Now, obviously, you've got to be mindful that I don't want to, upset his match. I mean, the guy's pretty chilled out. He said do what you want, but at the same time, I don't want to spoil his match, so I don't want to be sat right behind him, moving around, because the canal's really clear. Now, you might be looking and going, clear, Chris, you having a laugh? Look at the colour. No, trust me, that is really clear. So you could get, like, a little bit carried away. If you look at it properly, as soon as you hook a fish, even, like, probably 2.5 foot of water, you can pretty much straight away see what it is, and especially with a camera lens. You know what I mean? So I don't want to ruin his day because he's fishing for a team. It's a big match, 72 people fishing. This is the Spring League, round number 3. There's 4 rounds. I think there's a couple of rounds at Devizes and 2 rounds at Hungerford. I have fished this league before, years ago. I've definitely sort of shied away from this fishing now. So there's no point me doing a video on how to do this because I'd probably do it awful. Fill it in and catch nothing. So let's watch the pro do it. And hopefully you'll get quite a bit from the video. I've had to cut it so it's a little bit like sectioned in either side, so the film does get a bit better than this. The reason I had to cut it is because obviously I've got pedestrians and other external variables I don't want to film. So I haven't filmed like the whole match. I didn't want to walk around filming people that might not want me to film them. So I've just focused on Richard and then a couple of basically mates who's been agreeable to let me have quick little snippets of them. So what's Richard done? So he's cupped some bread basically down the track. So if you notice, he's cupped that straight in, that's where he's going to start. Then he's cupped in a big pot of sort of ground bait with squats, a few pinkers in it, proper up the shelf. He's got a bit of tree cover, hopefully the boats won't wipe that out. And then he's put chop to his right and he's put chop to his left. Because chop worm's definitely going to be really, really important in this match. So it's quite a few big perch. Whether they feed or not, I don't know. Obviously, I do know now because obviously this is a voiceover. But at that time, I didn't know. And I know there's some skimmers and stuff in here. And there's a lot of little fish. But little fish can be a bit funny this time of year about feeding. A lot of little fish topping. So I like to think that these little fish are going to feed, but what I've learned is over the years now, these little fish have got really small and the bigger fish, like the perch, have become really big. So, like, it's not uncommon for people to catch 3-pound perch. So Richard just had his first roach on bread. Boats come through, which never sort of helps. So Rich, I think he had 5 roach on the punch in the first 33 minutes. I didn't feel the point of you watching 33 minutes. So he's gone on to his chop line, so he's let it settle. And what you noticed is he's twitching it a lot to try and entice the bites. So there you go, he's got his first fish on. Now this fish is not what we both hoped for. So I was hoping it'd be a little bit bigger, but obviously still very welcome. Now looking around, can't see a great deal being caught, to be fair. It's quite hard to see people fishing and stuff as well because of all like the vegetation that's all grown up on the towpath. So yeah, and it was nice that cyclist to begin with. She was a bit cheeky, saying that coming through because obviously some anglers, well, you just wouldn't see her. So last thing we do is ship our pole back and knock her off her bike or damage the pole or anything like that. So you see Richard's twitching. What a lovely sign. You see that float's going away, but he's letting it develop. Just make sure that obviously every bite sort of counts. Now Rich is fed like a few casters and minced up his Dendrobina worms. But to be honest, he's caught A couple of fish on little dens, but red worms have been very good. I've always been a fan of red worms, especially when the fish are a little bit smaller. Also, Rich was cupping in like little toss pots, like we use for commercials, like feeding little tiny bits of worm as well. So obviously mince right up. So you fed it quite regular to keep bites coming. So that's definitely something worth thinking about. And obviously his twitching was successful catching little fish. So he's not like jerking it around, ruining presentation. He's doing it obviously on purpose to entice his perch. Also, he's got two chop rigs. So he's got one that's a little bit heavier with 012 and a 14 hook. And then he's got another one that's a lot lighter, 010 with a size 18, 128, and he's willing, Hayabusa, and he's willing to go down to a 20 if necessary as well. And also, I think, like catching skimmers and stuff, then obviously that can be a lot better fishing finer, a couple of inches over depth. Happy days. And it's very important to regular feed as well. And like Rich, I don't like cutting all my worms up at the beginning because I feel in the heat and the sun and stuff, I feel they lose their potency, if that's the right word. They maybe lose their sort of appeal. So I think regular cutting up bits of worm like he's done is the way to go, in my opinion. that little skimmer? It's a perfect little skimmer, quick snap, and it was a very quick snap. That's him. So just open to try and catch some bonus fish, really. You know, good team points at the moment. I haven't even gone onto his squat line yet. It was definitely beginning to fade a little bit. Still getting a few bites, but fish weren't the biggest. So a couple of hours in, Chave is struggling a little bit. It's probably got about £1.5. Nick next to him's got £6. He's had 2 great big perch, so fair play to him. A lot of these big fish are getting caught early, so make hay before the sun shines. So it's beginning to get a lot warmer now, and like a lot of the Canal matches, it's sort of like the beginnings, first hour is really important. Obviously all the matches are important, but like a lot of big fish tend to show themselves quite early, so normally like 20 minutes into the match to maybe an hour, unless you're on a shed fall or just one of them days they feed. So now like a lot of anglers are just trying to fill the gap now by just catching anything that swims. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes you could be really lucky and you might just, you know, catch a bream or a big perch over your squat line. That happens quite a lot. So, you know, putting something in the net is better than just sitting it out. And also, I think it just gives the chopworm lines and bonus lines a bit of time to rest. My old team captain, Mick Denton, so he's 2 pegs down from Richard Chave. He's had a £3.5 bream, or maybe £3, which is obviously a great bonus. And then he's just catching some little fish, so he's just trying to top it up. An hour and 40 minutes left. I left Chavey to it, so I'm just going to walk down to Lower Dunmill, as you can see behind. Normally this first peg here is an absolute screamer, normally, not always. If Canal is fishing quite tough, that sort of time of year, bright sunshine, spawning, can be tough at times. So Andy Gregory in D section. So I've just walked down, left Chave to it. I'm sure you've been happy with me to stay beyond a more match, but I thought I'd just take a bit of pressure off him, just left the camera rolling. So just watching Gregor's catch some little fish on the squat.
Challenging for my elastic. Terrible second, I didn't think he'd see me. I was starting to panic. You're lucky to Ryan actually blinding that high. Oh, were you? No.
And another fantastic angler in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, there's loads of good anglers fishing this match. But I know Gary on a personal level, known him for a long time. And Gary's very good on the canal as well. So he's been very unlucky, no bonus sort of fish. And just catching fish up right up the shallow. Fishing like squats and pinkies. And fair play, he's still using my dad's old pole. A bit of a dark subject, but my dad literally 10 years he's been gone, so unfortunately he died 10 years ago today. I didn't tell Gary that. So D section, I reckon Matt Herbert's winning it, maybe £6. Otherwise, he's fishing really hard. MPEG, either MPEG's got £2 each, and then £3.5 is second. You've got 50 minutes to go, so obviously things could change. But to be honest with you, the only fish that seem to be getting caught now is a little tiny blips. So yeah, beautiful place, though, isn't it? River Kennet, yeah, then obviously Kennet and Avon Canal. So coming back, so Rich is still like up the shallow, catching a few fish. They're struggling on the noted sort of pegs, like D1. You would think that would be an absolute screamer, but just hasn't really fished at all. I don't understand why the fish haven't really fed. And the same as like our name drop Buzzer on the MPEG on here, C18. Now Buzzer, for those who know, is a fantastic angler, and he's really struggling at the moment. So the canal is, yeah, fishing quite tough, but there's bites to be had on all the pegs. And it's all relative, isn't it? Like, some people might not like this, but you know, I think most pegs are worth 50, 60 fish. Admittedly, they might be very small, some, you know, tiny roach, little perch and stuff, but still a lot more bites than I might get on a commercial. I might fish for 5 hours, you might only fish for 5 or 6 bites. So Dalwood Dorkin won it on the day, but this is the top 6 overall in the league so far. So Homestall's still winning it. So this is the top 6 overall. So well done for Mike for winning it with £10 9 ounce. And you can see the other 6 anglers made the frame, so fair play to all of them. So this is C-section's board weight. So you can see the weights are pretty tight as well. So a lot of anglers were all in the race. 1, 2 bonus fish made all the difference. So there's Richard's net of fish. You can see they're all small. Just unfortunately didn't catch any bonus fish.